obviously. But it looked the fourth quarter especially looked sort of like a regular season game. Did you want to put your guys in a position to win the game and just to be in that situation?
Yeah, or at least not necessarily win, but have a chance to finish the game together a little bit out there. We've had a little bit of that, but some other players have been in the game. So, we did a good job finishing them. I mean, we had a couple free throws we could have won in regulation. They were right there. They just went in and out for us. Our first quarter was very good. Third quarter was very good. Second quarter was awful. So we sprinkled in one kind of bad quarter, like we've done. But other than the second quarter, we played hard and we executed out of timeouts well. Played good defense. Had a couple special situation plays like low clock, and out of bounds. We needed a basket. We executed well. We each made a shot. So we did some good things well.
Scott, what are your impressions of how Mario played and how is he progressing on the defensive end?
He's progressing for sure. What's happening to him, what we've been talking to him about is he has a tendency, like a lot of young players, he checks in to the game, whatever point we put him in, and teams either go right at him or plays are occurring that he's not yet comfortable with, and he gets taken advantage of often. In the first few minutes he's in a game, he's played like 3 or 4 minutes, he's already -6 or something when he checks in. So typically we'll take him out. I had a guy at the scores table, and he stuck him by making 2 threes while I had a guy at the scores table for him getting ready to come in the game. So once we get him out though, and he kind of takes a deep breath and goes back in, he's always much better. So it's kind of just that thing, like when we put him in the game, if he doesn't start, when we put him in, just kind of being a little more ready, that's all. But it's typical of a young player. He's 20 years old.
How pleased were you with Tobias early in the game, the way he attacked Anthony Davis? He was kind of playing that forward. You said
I thought Tobias was good again. He's been good, consistently good. I wanted to put him back in the game, but Keon said I couldn't, so I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what's going on there. It could have just been, not that he didn't want to go back in, but he could have gotten banged up a little bit. It's nothing big, but I would have liked to have put him back in the game, but he was good again.
Obviously, you want the team to do it correctly on the first drive, but are you pleased or do you like what you see when the team responds the way they did to having a bad second quarter and kind of righting the ship the way that they did?
Yeah, but we shouldn't have a bad whole quarter. A bad 4 or 5 minute stretch. That happens in an NBA game, and sometimes it's not bad. Sometimes you're playing fairly well, and the other team is just good. These are great players. But when we go 8, 9, 10, 12 minutes where we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, we have to address that. And the guys have responded, but you don't typically during a regular season game want to fall behind by double digits when you had a decent lead, especially against a team like that. So we have to be able to self-correct while we're going through it.
We all know Tobias can score. It looked like tonight you saw him do more things. Have you seen that this preseason from him, other than scoring?
Yeah. Overall, he's been very good. He's passed the ball well. He's had a tendency in the past to play in traffic a little bit too much and maybe force things offensively. He hasn't done that. When he drives, he's looking to make the proper play, and he's played very hard. So we have no complaints there.
It's obvious that the team fouls too much and doesn't get to the line as often as it should, but can you put your finger on why that just keeps perpetuating itself?
Well, like sometimes it's just a great player on the, Anthony Davis gets into your body and he goes up for a shot, and he gets the call. Things like that happen. We also had several again tonight where we're just getting our arms and hands in instead of playing defense with our body, and a couple when, they were in the penalty and we're just kind of committing silly fouls. So you have to give the other team their due, but we definitely have to get better at that for sure. Like I said, I guess it was this morning, our practices are physical. We don't call too many fouls because we're trying to work on the other end of it. Basically on the offensive end, stop crying and play through contact, things like that. But the other end of it is we're fouling too much. So we got a few days to straighten that out.
So Mario is obviously, his offense is ahead of his defense, but do you see his instincts of kind of being advanced beyond being a 20-year-old, the pick and roll play where he made the Vooch with the bounce pass? Do you see his instincts being advanced?
Well, nothing against his instincts, but we work on that specific play, and so he knew his read he had to make, and he made a correct read. He does have pretty good instincts, but he just you can see it. I mean, he knows he can get hot, and all teams when they have a hot player, you want to go to him. But also it can cause him a little bit to dribble around a little bit too much and kind of look for his own because he is hot. Again, all typical of a young player. There's an awful lot to like with Mario Hezonja for sure.
Coach, obviously you rode Vooch down the stretch offensively, but just talk about his overall matchup when he was going up against Anthony Davis, especially on both sides of the court.
He was good. I mean, that guy is as hard to guard as anyone. He can shoot with range. He can drive the ball. He's so long. Our goal was to get up on him and not give him too many open jump shots. We did a decent job of that. But that's a tough cover for any big guy. But if you talk about putting a center on him, I mean, Vooch, I thought moved his feet pretty well. A couple calls, could have went either way. We wanted to keep Vooch out there, late in the game and get him some late game work.
Scott, I think you said that Aaron Gordon was going to have a minutes restriction. How do you think he looked, and is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay. He looked rusty. Played hard like he always does. Played good defense. But offensively, he hasn't played very much. So everything he does, everything Aaron does is well intentioned. So it's just he hasn't played very much.
Everyone good? All right, thank you.
Thank you.